All right, let's get into a really dark one today. It's a story all about faith, fear, and, well, a betrayal so terrifying it becomes a legend. We're talking about the dark legend of Agharam. So the whole story really boils down to this one single question. What if the person your entire village sees as its savior is actually the monster they should be afraid of? Just think about that for a second. The one man you trust with everything is secretly the cause of all your suffering. Okay, so let's set the scene. We're in this super remote, totally isolated village. Life here is tough. They're constantly dealing with hardship. And for them, survival isn't just something that happens. No, they believe it comes at a terrible price. A price paid through a deadly, recurring ritual. And at the absolute center of this ritual is a figure called Moloch. I mean, just picture this thing. It's got the body of a man, but the head of a buffalo. And the most terrifying part? It has this fiery furnace built right into its stomach, just waiting for sacrifices. So this is the impossible choice these villagers are constantly facing. On one hand, you've got Agharam, he's the priest, and he's telling everyone that the only way to end the droughts and famines is to sacrifice a child to Moloch. But on the other hand, you have the heart-wrenching plea of a mother, basically screaming, "I will starve, I'll get sick, I don't care, but you are not taking my child." It's this gut-wrenching battle between the survival of the group and the love of a parent. Right, so into this powder keg of fear and tension walks an outsider, a guy named Rakesh. He's a government official sent in from the city, and you gotta understand, he couldn't care less about their rituals or their beliefs. He's there for one reason, to investigate some very disturbing facts. And this is why he's there. The village school used to have 75 kids, 75. And now, it's down to just 19. In fact, it dropped so low they had to shut the whole thing down. I mean, that's not just a statistic, that's an alarm bell screaming that something is terribly wrong, and someone finally heard it. The second Rakesh sets foot in this place, the red flags just start popping up everywhere. First, it's the silence. It's unnatural. You don't hear any kids playing, nothing. Then he tries to talk to the village head, who is super evasive and won't give him a straight answer. And to top it all off, a local gives him this chilling piece of advice. Don't be out after dark. Yeah, okay, something is definitely not right. So Rakesh finally manages to find some kids, and he asks them, a simple question. Hey, what game are you playing? And their answer is just bone-chilling. They say, the sacrifice game. Can you even imagine? This isn't just some innocent game. It shows you just how deep this ritual violence has seeped into the very soul of the village, poisoning even the children. Okay, so for Rakesh, the pieces are starting to click into place. The missing kids, this creepy game, it's all connected. And every single clue seems to point to the one person with all the power, the one man everyone listens to, the priest, Agharam. Rakesh knows he's got to figure out what's really going on behind all this religious ceremony. Then, one night, Rakesh has this absolutely terrifying nightmare about the Moloch idol. He wakes up in a cold sweat, looks out his window, and what does he see? A fire flickering out in some old ruins in the distance. Between the nightmare and his gut instinct, he knows he has to go. He heads out into the night to finally see what Agharam is up to when he thinks he's all alone. And this is where the whole horrifying truth comes out. See, the villagers, they think they're making sacrifices to a god to keep them safe. But the reality? Oh, it's so much worse. Agharam isn't stopping the disasters. He's causing them. He's orchestrating the famines, the droughts, all of it, just so he can perform these sacrifices and use the life force from the children to make himself immortal. It's a complete and monstrous lie. So when Rakesh finally confronts him, Agharam just drops the whole holy man act. He basically laughs in his face and confesses to everything. He mocks the villagers, calls them fools for believing Moloch was some kind of god. He flat out says, Moloch is no god, he is a demon, and I worship him. He wasn't their savior, he was a cultist using their fear to feed his own power. So as these horrifying words are hanging in the air, Rakesh suddenly realizes he's not alone. The villagers, they must have gotten suspicious, maybe worried about him, because they followed him out to the ruins. And now they're all standing there in the shadow of that demonic idol, and the truth is about to come crashing down on every single one of them. And once the truth is out, man, it happens fast. Rakesh accuses him of murder, and suddenly the villagers find their voice. One old man cries out that Agharam took his grandson 20 years ago, and just like that,
The spell is broken. All that fear they had for the priest, it turns instantly into white-hot rage. They grab him, he's powerless now, and they deliver their own brutal justice. They throw him into the very same furnace he used on their children, ending his reign of terror with his own fire.
You'd think that's the end of the story, right? The monster is dead, the village is finally free, you can practically feel the relief. Kids are playing in the streets again, the sun feels a little warmer. Rakesh leaves, feeling like he's closed the case. It feels like the nightmare is well and truly over. But you know how these stories go. Some evils, they don't die so easily.
And for a while, there actually is peace. Years go by. They bury the idol, and the whole horrific memory of Agrom starts to fade. But it was never going to last. One stormy night, years later, someone starts digging in that same cursed spot. They unearth the idol, and in a flash of lightning, we see his face. It's Agorom's son, and he has the exact same sinister smile and those same red, evil eyes. And he speaks this chilling vow. Father, the time has come to return. Your ritual will not remain incomplete. He's not there to say goodbye. He's there to pick up right where his father left off. The horror isn't just back, it's about to begin all over again. And that just leaves us with this really unsettling question, doesn't it? They got rid of the monster, right? The man who terrorized them is gone, but they couldn't get rid of the evil. So you have to wonder, when you vanquish one monster, does another one just inevitably rise up to take its place? Is evil a cycle that can never truly be broken?